Hi everyone, it's Nat here. Hope you're all well. I'm on to do the mixed media challenge in the Paper Possibilities Crazy Crafters group. So we have 10 prompts and we're allowed to swap 2 of them out if we decide to. So this month the prompts are feathers, paint with a gift card, use a palette knife, fibres, swirls, modelling paste. Now I don't have modelling paste, but I have texture paste. I'm assuming they're a similar thing. So bubble wrap, pink, which is not my favourite colour, use a silhouette and rip paper. So that's an interesting lot of prompts and quite different from the usual. So it was a hard one for me thinking about this because when I read the feathers and pink, all I could think about was that flamingo journal I made for Jovi. And so I was planning in my head to do a flamingo and all this, but then I read that we have to use a silhouette, so wouldn't work the way I was sort of thinking of doing it, so I might just do some random stuff. So the first thing I'm going to do, because we have to rip paper, I've got some book page, I'm going to rip some book page out and stick it down, and I'm going to use my matte deco glue. I think the lovely Wendy Mason gave me this, so I'm going to use that just to stick my paper down. This is a glue and a finish sealer, so I'm not sure. I might take 2 pages just in case. Hope that you are all safe and well, whatever that you're doing. Now, which way do I want the text? I might want some bits that run the whole way up, so I have no idea what I'm doing here. Most of you would know I'm not very good with my mixed media. Most of the time it turns out quite average. I think there's been 2 that I've done that I absolutely love, and I might even hang them on the wall, so it's worth it just for that. So I'm thinking of sticking these down sort of like that. Something about ripping paper that is quite enjoyable. Now you'll see I use greaseproof paper when closing this. I learnt the hard way with my Mod Podge the first time I used it, and I just shut it as normal and I never got it open again. So I've learnt now with glues like this that I tend to, I mean this one probably doesn't matter as much, but it does make things a bit easier and less messy. So I put the greaseproof paper in. So I've let that dry a bit. So we have our rip paper done. So the next thing I will do is just trim off the edges. We have to do pink, so I'm going to do a pink background. I searched all my paints and I only have the one pink, and it's a satin acrylic. Satin semi-matte, whatever that means. So I'm going to put that down, and we have to paint with a gift card, which I love doing. Not. So I'm going to do a bit of that, and if I don't like it, I'll just use a brush over the top. So I'm just going to put some paint on. There, that might be enough. It might be too much too, but you need a bit with a gift card if you want to get decent coating anyway. Oh yeah, that's going on all right. It might work. I do want a pretty good coverage. I don't mind if the book page shows through though, that'd be good actually, because then you can see that I've actually got book page on there. Okay, so I've let that dry a bit, and we have painted with a gift card, and we have used pink. Now I think the next thing I want to do is my bubble wrap. So I've just got a little piece of bubble wrap here that I've cut out of a bigger piece. So I grabbed this satin acrylic semi-matte sky blue. I thought it would go nicely with the pink, and also it's the same paint type. I have such a mix of paints because most of them I've grabbed second hand, so sometimes I don't necessarily go that well together. So I'll just get a bit of this out. And I might, I've got a sponge here, I might just use my sponge to wipe it over, because I don't want to get too much on. And I might just go around the edges here with a bit of my painted bubble wrap. So, cross out our bubble wrapping. We need to do swirls. And I don't particularly have, don't think I have a swirl stamp or anything. I mean, I might, but I can't be bothered finding it. So, modelling paste, silhouette. Okay, so I think the swirls will come next. So I've hunted out some of my gelatos. I've got this container here that's got a few colours. So I don't know how it's going to go exactly on the paint, but I'll give it a go anyway. So I'm going to do some swirls with my gelatos. Oh yeah, that's working all right. That's a blue one, and then I've got this pink one. I'm just going to put it on the, see if I can see. I don't know if I'm going to see it, but it doesn't look bad, so I'll give one a go and see. Yeah, that's showing through. All right, so I think that'll do for my swirls. So then we can cross off swirls. Still got use a palette knife, fibres, modelling paste. Now I'll probably use a palette knife with my modelling paste. The fibres, I'll query that. I might even swap that out. It just depends, although I could add some. And use a silhouette. So for the use a silhouette, I think I'll do that next. What I have done is die cut some shapes. So I've die cut the an owl. Just get the, now I did it in black cardstock. I did a double, I did it on paper as well, which I keep ripping. But I've got the cutouts on the paper that I can use in some other project if I want. I figure if I'm going to run it through, I might as well do a double layer and get some other pieces. So I've done the same with my leaves. I've got to separate some of them. I've got a paper one as well as the black one. So what I've done is die cut them on the black cardstock so that I can use the black cardstock as a stencil. Now, I think that lovely Wendy Mason did her silhouette with a stencil too. My other idea is I could just stick these down as a silhouette, but when I stick things on top, they just don't blend as well as if you actually paint. It looks more mixed media-ish, I find, when I watch others if they do a stencil or paint something rather than just stick some cardstock on top. So I'll keep these. These can even be a stencil that's done that way, you know, for the negative or whatever. So I'll keep them for another project. But what I want to use is these as stencils. So we'll start with our owl, which I want to place around the middle. And like Wendy did, I'm going to use sponge and my black paint. You never run out of sponges when you use them to do your dishes. Okay, so I will put some paint in here. I don't know how the gelato seems to be staying on there all right. Thinking it probably needs some sealant, so I'll probably spray seal it when I'm done. Get some black paint out. And we'll see how we go at stenciling this down. It's a bit textural, which I'm kind of liking. Tempting fate here, but I'll give it a go. I'll do this part first while I've got my black paint out. So I raided my scrap thread bin and I actually found a fibre that I might like on this. Miracles. So I'm going to put that just down the bottom here. It can be messy too, I don't mind. Like that. So I'll get my helmers and we'll see how we go at sticking this down. So I've got to use a palette knife and modelling paste are the only two things we have left to go. So I'm going to be naughty and like Wendy, I'm going to put a word on. It doesn't tell us to, but it just, you know, I like it better if I do. A lot of the time I don't, and then I don't really like it. So I thought this time I will, and I found this, which I just got black on, The Mysterious Power of Magic, and I thought that would look quite nice on this one. So I'm just going to trim all the words down. And a little bit of modelling paste for each colour. Hopefully that'll be enough. And then we want a tad of blue paint in one lot. A tad of pink in the other lot. Oh, that's not a tad. A bit of an air bubble. That is all right. Okay, now we want to do a blue one if we can, without making a big mess. So I'll just mix the blue in. I think that'll do. Won't tempt fate any more than that. So we've used a palette knife and we've done our modelling paste now. So, well, we did texture paste. So we've done all the prompts, but there are a few bits and pieces that I want to do to finish it off. So I grabbed out some distress inks. I've got Salty Ocean and Picked Raspberry here. And I think I'll use those to go around the edges of my words. And just to colour them a bit. Got a Sharpie here, so I'm just going to go around the edges, even though I have with the ink. I think I might like to just put a bit of a black edge around them. Okay, now watch out for my texture paste. So I got a bit carried away then and attacked my owls. I finished doing the black signo around the outside of the feather and the owl, and then I attacked them with my gel pens. Now I probably should have waited till the black paint was properly dry, because the gel pen didn't work too well. It worked all right, but you know, it was hard to use and didn't come out as solid as it should have. But I used two of the pastels, the blue and the pink pastel, and I just put lines on my feather, which are all going the wrong way, but I don't care. And on my owl, just to highlight that it's an owl. So that's that. Now I've still got to wait overnight for these feathers to dry, and then I'll possibly highlight them as well, just so they stand out a bit better. So what I'm going to do is just cut this edge off. I also went around the edge with my signo and did a border and some more swells around the border, just for something to do. That looks a bit better. So I ended up waiting for my texture paste to dry, and I've just gone around the outside of the feathers with my black signo, and then I used some gel pen in the middle. There's one more thing I want to do, and that is I've grabbed out my pastels. I thought it might be fun to add just a little bit of colour around the outside of my owl especially. I was going to do pink, but pink would not show up too much, I don't think. Let's have a look at what I've got here. They always look the same, these two. Yeah, see, we're not going to see that much. I've got this lighter blue. actually think I have some better pastels in my drawer somewhere, but it is working all right. All right, so I think that'll do. We'll call that a wrap. So that is my mixed media for July. I used feathers, painted with a gift card, the background, used a palette knife to put on my texture paste, used fibres down the bottom, swirls with, I think I used pastels for them. Oh no, gelatos I used for them. Modelling paste was the texture paste. Bubble wrap for my little bubbles around the outside. Pink, well, that's quite obvious. A bit too obvious. I used a silhouette, which I did for my feather and my owl, and I ripped paper for the background. So that was heaps of fun. I don't know if I really like the outcome, but it was heaps of fun, and I learn every time, so I'm happy enough with that. So I hope you enjoyed, guys. Take care, have some fun, and I will see you soon. Bye.